Ladies and gentlemen, I want a president who is not beholden to never-ending military conflict. I don't want to be 90 seconds to midnight. I don't want a president who reveres and worships our wonderful intel agencies. Intelligence is not evidence. John Brennan eloquently and honestly stated that when they were investigating Trump. I don't do evidence, I do intelligence. I don't want to be 90 seconds to midnight according to the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists, and I don't want 6% to 9% inflation. I don't want a never-ending invasion and quagmire in Europe. I want Trump's record low poverty in 2019. Say it very slowly. Morally superior, highly educated liberal Democrats who are beautiful people, but apparently don't mind that the world and the country is collapsing before our very eyes. We had record low poverty under Trump in 2019. If you're on the left, you're a communist, socialist, whatever you call yourself, democratic socialist, you should love Trump. Everyone was doing better economically. In terms of justice issues, things were better under Trump. People were able to feed their families, buy clothing, pump gas in their car, start businesses, do things in a manner that was much easier and better economically under Donald Trump in 2019. His last year in office, media, experts, authorities, multilateral or multinational organizations, we can go on forever, Democratic governors tanked their state economies. Not Trump's fault. Not Trump's fault. Democratic Party's fault. Okay? He wanted to open up the economy. Democrats, media, too soon, too soon, too soon. Oh, the experts say. Whenever you hear experts say, ignore whatever is being stated. That is an appeal to authority because a person lacks. Don't always ignore. I shouldn't say that. But that is a ploy. That is a stunt. That's a logical fallacy oftentimes. If, for example, there were no spy balloons under Trump's administration, there's zero evidence. The only evidence presented is that Biden's intel agencies or bureaucrats state it happened. That's not evidence. That's called gossip and hearsay. Show exactly when, pictures, show evidence. They went after Trump for years and years, no evidence anyway. That's why he hasn't been indicted. You can indict a ham sandwich, but you can't indict Trump because he hasn't committed a crime. Conversely, on the other hand, Hillary, Hunter, Joe, they committed obvious crimes. Hunter's been under criminal investigation for years. They still impeached Trump for daring to ask if Joe had committed crimes, and that was before the laptop emails from you-know-where showing clear violations of the law. Anyway, Trump didn't have private servers siphoning top-secret intel. The classified data fiasco with Clinton and with Biden far worse than Trump. Trump was commander-in-chief. Biden was not. Big difference. Anyway, I want to read you an article. Ron DeSantis has at least 42 billionaire donors. Here are some of the most notable. Tallahassee Democrat, an article. The Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld wing of the Republican Party is supporting Ron DeSantis. I like DeSantis because he reminds me of Trump. I want a president like Trump who doesn't revere sacred cows, who doesn't worship media. Trump should never have gone after Rihanna or LeBron James or celebrities or Megyn Kelly or whatever, or Rosie O'Donnell. I don't think that it helps him in any way, shape, or form. But you know what? If he goes after, Joe Scarborough's a different story. But he doesn't need to go after celebrities, for example. So in that respect, it doesn't help him. Does that mean that he is worse than Biden? No. Biden and George W. Bush are the two worst presidents that we've ever had. Trump, in terms of policies and accomplishments, record low poverty and record highs in household median income in 2019. The Doha Agreement got Americans out of that region of the world that Biden reluctantly had to follow. It was a May 1st, 2021 withdrawal. Okay. I'm trying to fit in as much as possible within the next couple of minutes as to why a person would vote for Trump. and why DeSantis is not the choice in 24 and why he's being chosen or backed by Never Trump Republicans, the National Review. You know, I read the National Review. There are brilliant writers at the National Review, okay, or very intelligent, but they're wrong about Trump. They think that if DeSantis was nominated, suddenly he'd get a fair and honest assessment by media. Media will always try to undermine and disparage and demean any Republican from here on out. There will never be a Paul Ryan, article on how he lifts weights. That'll never happen again. It'll always be, this Republican is worse than Trump. He's trying to devour democracy. It's the end of the world. Oh my God, DeSantis is worse than Trump. That's what would happen. Hit subscribe to this channel every morning, 8 and 11, 8:30 and 11:30, 11:45 a.m. Pacific time. I will have videos on this channel. Check the channel in the morning, every morning. And I will have a live stream. I was going to have a live stream tonight, but I wanted to do this upload actually because share this with anyone who thinks that DeSantis is better. I actually fell into that trap. I thought DeSantis might be better. He might be better with media. There are already articles in MSNBC. This is what the National Review or Washington Examiner. I love the National Review and Washington Examiner. Okay? But this is what they overlook or what they don't really comprehend. There's a roadmap, a game plan, a rubric against any Republican, and it's called, you could say, the Trump plan or the Trump rubric or the Trump game plan or the Trump blueprint. They're going to disparage and demean and mock and denigrate any Republican. You can have a good Republican from a blue state like Larry Hogan, or you can have a good Republican like Adam Kinzinger, who, does the John Boehner, and you could have a good Republican like Liz Cheney. These people are utilized by the Democratic Party as foils to Trump. Democrats despise the Lincoln Project. I do as well, but Democrats despise them. It should have been canceled a long time ago, Lincoln Project people. All of those people and their publications also linked to the Lincoln Project were against marriage equality. They should have been canceled a long time ago, but they're foils to Trump. And a good common sense conservative. Nobody has done more for conservatives than Trump. 3 Supreme Court justices, in addition to everything he tried to implement that conservatives wanted. A wall, tariffs to China, tax cuts. What do you not like about Trump other than his personality? Never Trumpers. I would love to ask the National Review or Washington Examiner or other Never Trump journalists, what is it you don't like about Trump? That there's a meltdown from media every time he says something or does something? Sure, he's boisterous and he's belligerent sometimes. So what? Biden's personality's fantastic. Jeb Bush, please clap. Please clap. You think that's good? And so, what do you want? Is he perfect? No. He's better than Biden. He's better than Jeb Bush. He's better than George W. Bush. Much better. He's a better president than any president in my lifetime in terms of policies. We had record low poverty under Trump. We had a president who was set up and framed by people who did not like him. You could say, well, that's not true. It is not national security to accuse an incoming Republican candidate of working with the Kremlin. That is not national security. I don't care if Paul Ryan and Mitt Romney agree it is, or John McCain. It is not national security. You could have done the same thing with President Obama with a reset, with that big reset button that Hillary was holding, along with the ambassador from that country. They have redefined national security. Now you have spy balloons above with catastrophe taking place right when the spy balloons were, right after the spy balloons were above. And it's like, okay, the country, crime, real wages are down. We're 90 seconds to midnight. We have an invasion in Europe. We're heading towards another recession. Stock market crash almost certain. You can't pump $10 trillion into the economy. But that's what happens when the adults are in charge and they have the useful, willing participants within the Republican Party tanking the country because they want to be accepted. Look, Democrats despise every never Trumper with a passion. I know I was a Democrat my whole life. up until the past couple of years. I'm independent now. I'm voting for Trump, not because he's a Republican, not because I am more conservative on a lot of things now, because he's his own man and his policies worked. We had record low poverty. We had record highs in household median income. DeSantis being endorsed by, all the never-Trumpers could be influenced by the Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld foreign policy, but also he hasn't been tested. When media sets their sights on DeSantis, and they are already doing so, he'll be just as unpopular as Trump among the good Republicans, among the never-Trumpers, among media and Democrats. Don't fool yourself, never-Trumpers. Anyway, give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now. There's a reason that DeSantis is being chosen by the never-Trumpers. It has nothing to do with what's good for the country. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now. 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. Go to hagoodman.com to read my writing on The Hill, The Huffington Post, Salon, The Jerusalem Post, The Federalist, other publications. Join the Patreon below. Super thanks below. Share this with anyone who doesn't understand why Trump is so much better than DeSantis and why there's no chance that DeSantis surpasses Trump. Give me your thoughts. Every day, 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. Pacific, 11:30, 8:30. Around then, I will have videos on this channel. Thank you. Hit subscribe.